Okay, today we're gonna do some drive shaft greasing. I'll show you all the points to grease. And first we're gonna start with jacking the car up. So let's get started. Once you're sure all four wheels are off the ground, what you do next is you put the car into neutral and you put the differential into neutral as well. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so key in, you gotta put your foot on the brake, put the car into neutral, gear from high, you gotta put it into neutral, you'll feel it going, just to make sure, put it into low, and then bring it back into neutral. Okay, you're good. I'm gonna put the e-brake down, and now you should be okay to turn the shaft. I tried all the other grease guns. I'm gonna give this a try. I'll let you know how this works. But all the other ones are too long. The one with the hose end is annoying. So I'm gonna give this one a try. Hopefully it's just the right length to get under there. So the next step is to take off belly pan and everything. So the way this works, there's a bolt here, here, there, and then one on the other side. This one has a slit in it. So if you undo all these bolts, this one, if you just loosen, you can slide it back and take this out. There's also another bolt right here in the center of this. These are all 12 millimeter. You have to be careful because you also have the plastic portion bolted right there to this metal portion. So you gotta undo these bolts as well. That side and that side. Your rear drive shaft is right there. Follow that along and it connects to your center differential, which is right here, right behind this skid plate thing there. So that center differential is connected to the end of your transmission. So this is your transmission right here. See the bell housing? You follow that down. Center differential is connected to the end of your transmission. So that center diff is pretty crucial because that sends power down to your rear diff, and it also has a shaft that comes up and connects to your front differential, which is this guy. Now you see your front differential has the connections for your front left and right wheel. So this is your front differential right here. So these are the two shafts. You have your rear shaft there and this shaft. Now this one you can't access unless you take off the plastic cover. And you know what? I honestly didn't even need to take the metal cover off because this is downstream of the metal cover. But anyway, like I learned my lesson. Maybe you guys will not do that. Now let me show you, sorry about all the camera shaking. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Let me show you all the points we're gonna want to grease. Okay, so the points you need to grease, and the reason why you shouldn't do this with the car down, well I guess you can, but it's just a little bit more annoying. If you can get down here and you have access to these nipples, then great. You don't need to jack the car up. Probability that you'll either not be able to access these or the ones back there. One of these you're not going to be able to access, so jacking it up, a good choice, because now you can just turn the shaft, turns the wheel also, because it's connected directly, so through that differential. So now let me show you what you need to grease. You need to put your grease gun on this nipple right here and grease it. Now what this is greasing, this slip joint right here. So inside here, this slides inside and out of this tube here. And the reason for that is because as your suspension goes up and down, this shaft needs to be able to move lengths because the length's going to change. So that's why they have this slide joint here. And some say to pump the grease in until you see grease start coming out of the seal here. Might be what you're supposed to do, but I don't do that. I basically just pump enough grease till I see a little bit of movement in the shaft and just stop. I do it often enough where I don't have to worry about, you know, not having enough grease in there. This one, the one that's a little more hidden, that one is for the universal joint, and you want to pump that until you start seeing grease coming out of these joints here. Then you know you have enough. You pumped out the old grease and you're pumping in the new grease. Those are the 2 points. Now you have that on this side, and if you follow that shaft down, you're gonna have, on this side, you're just gonna have the fitting on the bottom there for the universal joint, because there is no slip on this side because the whole shaft, the slip joint's over here. So on this side, you're just gonna have the universal joint fitting. Now let's follow this back more, and we'll keep going. I'm gonna try to just slide my way down. Should get a creeper or something. Okay, now the other end of this center differential, you have the rear prop shaft connection. So as you can see, you can turn this easily too. There's the grease fitting for the universal joint. And if you follow it back further, all the way to the rear differential, you'll see there's another two fittings there, and actually you can see it from here. See those two fittings sticking out? They make it a little easier for this because the two fittings are right there on the outside. That top one is for the slip joint, and the bottom one, or the one further back, is for the universal joint. So we're gonna go ahead and grease these. And you're supposed to basically do this every, well, I try to do it every other oil change. You could do it every oil change, but it never hurts, and it prevents you from having to replace these in the future. They go through a lot of wear and tear. I mean, they're spinning, just like the wheels, they're spinning constantly and constantly dealing with stresses. So definitely good to do. Now the type of grease, let's go over the type of grease to use. So we're gonna have to go with the other grease gun. The new little one doesn't come with moly grease, and moly grease is what we need for impact kind of applications. So for the drive shafts and things like that, which have a lot of impact, you want to use moly grease. For wheel bearings and a lot of frictional rotation kind of things, you want to use the regular multi-purpose grease, or the wheel bearing grease, whatever they call it, lithium grease. So molybdenum disulfide, moly grease, is what you want to use. I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but anyway, this is what we're going to be doing. So I'll show you how to grease these things. There you go. That's a good shot, huh? Nice. Once you start seeing the grease start oozing out of there, then you're good. See it on all four sides. Alright, so we got one done. You get a good look at that. The old grease came out of all the corners there. The new grease in. You can move on to the other joints. So we got oozing out of there. So you want to see the old stuff come out. Now the exhaust is really close to here. It's right there. So if you get some grease on the exhaust, you'll smell it when you turn the car on, but don't be alarmed. It's just burning off. Okay, so this is the rear. You can see all that grease coming out of there. Now all I have to do is the back, and then I'm done. There you go. There you go. There you go. I'm going to try to pump in the rest of what I have here. So that's it. Pretty simple, but if you don't do it, you can run into a lot of problems.